Raphael Varane has confirmed that he is leaving Manchester United at the end of the season, and that makes it even more apparent that Ineos need to address the defensive unit at Old Trafford this summer. So in this video, we're looking at 5 centre-backs who could be Raphael Varane's replacement at Old Trafford. So first up comes perhaps Ineos's prime target for the position in Jarrad Branthwaite. The 21-year-old defender spent a season on loan at PSV last season, where he worked under former United striker Ruud van Nistelrooy. But it was this season at Everton where he's had his true breakthrough season in the Premier League. He's made 40 appearances across all competitions and really impressed alongside Tarkowski in the Everton back line. So Branthwaite is a left-footed defender who's very comfortable on the ball. He is quite two-footed as well, which means that he's not isolated to being that left centre-back. He's also quite good with his right foot. He's aggressive and with a good recovery pace, which allows him to go strong into challenges, almost step out of the back line with the knowledge that he can recover if the opposition work it around him. Those physical attributes which he does have in terms of pace, in terms of power, in terms of overall strength really helps him when he goes out there, but also when he's almost isolated wide with wingers, with forwards making those runs to the flanks. He can deal with himself really well out there, which bodes well for a top team who's looking for a defender. In terms of his on-the-ball play, Branthwaite is really impressive. He can play through the lines, he's a strong carrier of the ball, although not exceptional. And he's just a well-rounded defender, and at just 21 years of age, there's room for him to grow, there's room for him to improve. He'll be a homegrown talent, but also the age, the nationality, all play a part in Everton demanding a sizable fee for the defender. Reports have stated that it will take at least 60 to 70 million to pry Branthwaite away from Goodison Park. Next up comes Fulham defender Tosin Adarabioyo, who came through the academy at United's rivals Manchester City, which is where he has a relationship with new technical director Jason Wilcox, who was the under-18s head coach and also the academy director at the Blues. The 26-year-old has made 25 appearances this season for Fulham, but he is going on a free contract this summer with his deal running out at the end of the season. That makes him a very hot prospect, and recent reports did state that Newcastle were closing in on an agreement with the defender, but the latest information is that United are trying to hijack that deal, which makes this a realistic possibility. At 6'5", Tosin is an aerial monster, which is very important for this United team, which doesn't have, especially with Varane going, many aerially dominant players. He's got a good anticipation of when to go or when to retreat, but perhaps isn't as comfortable as someone like Branthwaite when he's forced into those wider areas. Overall, Adarabioyo is a solid option across the board really. There's nothing which quite stands out as the best in class, but he's a really solid option across the board, and for free, he'd be a great addition to this United back line. Third on the list comes Jean-Clair Todibo, who has got the Ineos links, currently playing his football at French club Nice, which Ineos also own. He's made 31 appearances this season and is an unbelievably calm defender in possession. He's great on the ball, he can progress the play, but he's also really powerful in those actions, especially progressing the ball through carrying. On the flip side of things, he might not be the best box defender in the world like your Varanes, but he does have a good calmness in and out of possession. And like we've mentioned before, defending those wide areas when you're a little bit more isolated can be a very important asset for most top level defenders, and Todibo has this in abundance. He's really good when he goes out there. He seems to have the right level of aggression and patience in such situations. And if United were to go in for the French defender, they probably would be looking at around a £40 million price tag. Fourth on the list, and it's Premier League defender Marc Guehi of Crystal Palace. He's made 28 appearances for the London-based team this season, and he's a really calming presence on and off the ball. He's not a defender who goes into tackles really aggressively. He's more calculated in his decision making, which makes him probably a good fit with Lisandro Martinez, who is a bit more passionate, a little bit more erratic in his defensive style. But at the same time, Guehi has aerial weaknesses, which we all know are not Lisandro Martinez's strengths either. So there's a particular worry that United might think about. But he is a really strong box defender, a solid ball player, and like I said, that calming presence in possession, which United have been missing quite a lot. Now, Guehi perhaps is not the best choice for United, as it is likely Crystal Palace will be demanding a sizable fee for the young defender, but he is definitely one to keep an eye on. And finally, on this centre-back list is Leny Yoro, the 18-year-old superstar for Lille, who has really came into the European frame this season, making 43 appearances for the French club. The teenage defender is already 6'2" and has a really large frame, a lanky frame quite similar to Raphael Varane. This helps him when he's trying to be that aggressor in the back line, which he is more often than not. He can reach his legs round to get a nick on the ball in a similar fashion to Nemanja Matic at points during his early United career. Despite being that aggressor, Yoro also has a great amount of recovery pace and anticipation, which means that he isn't often left embarrassed when he does go in and doesn't necessarily get the ball first time. He can get back into shape, he's quick, he's athletic, and he's got a really well-rounded overall profile. When defending his box, Yoro is solid overall. He's a decent box defender, and despite not being extravagant in possession like some of these other names, he's confident on the ball, he can circulate it around the defence, and he has got a good range of passing across the field. Additionally, thanks to his frame and size, he's solid in aerial duels, which, like I said about Guehi, is a concern when you are looking to pair a defender with Lisandro Martinez. Overall, the centre-back market does look impressive, and there's a lot of different options for Ineos to look into. While Raphael Varane had injury troubles at United, there's no denying that when he was fit, he was an incredibly solid option for the team. So now with him gone, they will need to speed up this process and start assessing these different options for the summer window.